Oh, that's the angle they're playing, yeah.
Hi everybody, I am Chad.
And I'm Mark Peterson.
From the Frog Outside the Well channel. Today we are going to review a movie. And we're going to do a historical movie.
We love historical movies.
We do. The English title is Masquerade. Masquerade is an interesting title.
Yeah, I wonder why they call it Masquerade rather than just Kwang-Ye-gun. Well, of course, the English audience doesn't know who Kwang-Ye-gun is.
True.
But all Koreans do. He was one of two kings that never got a royal title.
Oh, okay.
Because he was deposed. Yeonsan-gun and Kwang-Ye-gun. They had the Gun title and never got the Jo or the Jong of the full
okay, that
king.
makes sense.
Yeah. So he had his problems. I'm anxious to see what the movie's about. See how they treat
I'm
it.
curious too. It's always, I like watching historical movies with you because you provide the context of, is it real, is it accurate?
And these days, the Korean movies are really good.
It seems like it.
Historical. They've got good accuracy, they've got good researchers, and they get into the Shillok, the core history. The Shillok was all in Chinese, and only a few specialists could read it for years and years and years. But now it's all been translated into Korean. Anybody can get into it.
Okay.
And you can look at all the different angles that come out of the actual historical account.
And
so it makes it interesting.
Yeah, I think that does. We're going to watch the trailer, get an idea for what it's like, talk about expectations, and then do it.
Okay, let's do it.
당장 승정원에 가서 얼마나 일기를 가져올게. 훔쳐서라도 뺏더라도 반드시
Yeah, see, that's the Shillok,
Yeah.
the official record.
마시라 했다. 뭐하느냐 마시냐고! 천지가 내 목숨을 노리는 자들 뿐 아니더니 서두르시오. 똑같이 생긴 자를 아무도 믿을 수 없어. 죽고 싶지 않으면 지금부터 내가 하는 말을 잘 듣도록 해라. 잠시 후 주상 전하를 뵈러 갈 것이다.
Okay.
고개를 들거라.
Oh,
They got a look-alike.
a look-alike.
곁에 올려줘야겠다. 하나만 제대로 들으셨네. 공원 사방에 눈과 귀가 열려있는 곳이니 각별히 조심해야 한다.
전하,
일러 해라. 말투가 점점 전하를 닮아가시옵니다. 나도 어떨 땐 내가 찌대인 거였어. 저기 저 여인 말이오. 충전 만나시옵니다. 제발. 내 놈은 왕이 아니다.
Oh, that's the angle they're playing, yeah.
시라스부리셨습니다. 내 이제껏 비루하게 살아왔지만 지금은 아니요. 대체 이 나라가 누구 나라요? 전하, 부끄러운 줄 아시오? 백성을 하늘처럼 섬기는 왕. 진정 그것이 그대가 꿈꾸는 왕이라면 그 꿈 내가 이루어드리리다.
The
King of Facade.
Interesting.
Oh, that's the game. Mistaken identity
Yeah.
game.
Right. So that's interesting. I mean, in terms of historical context, I don't...
Yeah, this
I
isn't going to be a
don't
big picture
Yeah.
story. It says 15 days that are missing
Right,
from
right.
history. So
Yeah.
there's apparently a time where they put the substitute in to keep the real king from being
Yeah.
killed.
byung-Hyun is, I guess, playing both characters.
Apparently so. Yeah.
So that's, I feel like that's a tough job. You got to play the merciless, rude king,
Yeah.
and then the lowly commoner who
Yeah.
comes in to replace the king. So I think it'll be interesting.
Yeah, let's see it. It'll be fun.
We'll see what sort of historical gems we get from it, and
Yeah.
we'll see how it goes.
Okay.
Okay, we'll see you guys in a bit. So is that true then?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, I think it's all phony. I think it's phony from the get-go.
Just a historical fiction, maybe?
Yeah. Oh, it's Kim Young-gon. Kim Young-gon is, he's been in several movies. He was in my Tebek Sanmek, and he became Minister of Culture.
No way.
Yeah.
He looks like a king.
Hwang Den Namja, the man who became a king. See, he's going to force this person to take poison. Oh, so he wasn't forcing someone to take poison as a punishment. He was saying, eat this to make sure I'm not being poisoned. And she wouldn't take it. She feared he was being poisoned too. So a guy just the opposite of what a kingly person should be.
Right.
Oh dear. Oh, he hasn't got a very good guide.
I remember that from when I first went to Korea.
Oh yeah.
Not used to sitting across. You leave somebody's house and
You sit there for an hour.
Yeah.
And then you stand up and you can't move. This guy might be a eunuch. He's got the blue robes on.
Oh.
They had court eunuchs.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that guy has to be a eunuch. He'd be the only one in the palace at night. Oh, that's a thunder pot. Do you really think so? I don't know if they're gonna do the tasters thing, but they used to do that. They used to have tasters
For all their food?
for their.
Oh. That'd be awful. Oh my gosh.
They're all gonna figure it out. He's not eating like a king at all.
Yeah. Sounds like a king now.
Yeah, and he's making a lot of important decisions.
So I wonder if it's this guy who's kind of pulling the strings here.
Yeah,
right?
setting him up, getting things done he wants to have done. They did say that he's not low-born, that he could read characters. So
Right.
that would be an important thing about a jester, because most jesters couldn't pull that off.
Uh-huh.
You'd have to really be well educated to pull it off. The music does a lot in this show. This is majestic, powerful music. The king's taking his spot. They've been slipping him opium.
And through her, right?
Through her. Oh, she's through, huh? Oh, jeez.
Wow. I guess she was the loose end.
Oh, boy. Takes a sinister turn. These torture and punishment things must have really been awful.
I know.
It was really quite sensational when he, as an actor, became Minister of Culture.
Uh-huh.
But he apparently did a good job with it. And now he's returning to this acting role. I don't know how much acting he does anymore, but it said it was a special appearance by, so it might be. This is one of his first roles after being Minister of Culture.
What the heck?
What's he looking at in his
His
hand?
hand. Maybe just his hand looks like a worker's hand or something.
He keeps the girl there to...
Keep him on good behavior.
You always have to turn away from a higher person. When you drink and you're with a higher person, you turn away.
I've seen it.
Have you seen that?
Yeah. He's suspicious, like,
Yeah. So what's Captain Doe gonna do? Aha. This is a good twist.
So I wonder who they want to get rid of. The real king.
Yeah.
Get rid of the real king and then...
Manipulate the phony king. Okay, we're heading toward his death.
Yeah, he doesn't seem like he wants to run.
I'm holding out hope.
Maybe.
That there'll be a twist of story and he'll survive. Oh, that's her knife?
Mm-hmm.
He's kept all this time?
Yeah.
Oh.
He broke off the blade.
Broke off the blade, yeah. You see, that's going to open the borders for the Manchus to come in, which happened during his reign. The eunuch's the good guy.
Right, right.
In a lot of movies, the eunuchs are the bad guy.
Right.
Yeah, they're the shadow in the corners that you can't trust. But here it's the opposite. Oh, she's supposed to slip this poison into his food.
Yeah. So she's supposed to taste it and then put it in.
Yeah. Yeah, he's going to live and they're going to kill the phony king, the real king. Okay, this is serious business now. He knows this is life or death.
So this is why there's no record.
What if they kill both kings?
And then you got a real bride.
Because these guys are in to kill the imposter king, aren't they?
Right. He's gone. Uh-oh.
Oh, the plot really thickens.
They got the wrong guy. Oh, they got someone coming after him. So we heard it. Look who it is.
Oh, the chief secretary.
Yeah. The chief royal secretary eventually executed for treason. 5 years later, the king deposed.
Wow.
I wonder what happened to the queen.
Yeah. There are a couple of stories of queens that were deposed and executed.
What'd you think? I mean, not historically accurate, clearly.
Not historically accurate. It's really not a story of Kwanghagun.
No, it isn't really, actually.
I thought it was going to maybe go that way, where the substitute would win out.
I was thinking that too, and that's kind of what they lead you to believe a little bit,
Yeah.
is that, hey, it's gonna be this guy's gonna become the real king. The actual movie, I thought was great. I really enjoyed it.
It was a good movie. It wasn't a historical movie like
Right.
the movie of Lee Sun-shin was a real story about Lee Sun-shin.
Exactly.
But this is some conjecture about what might have happened during the time of Kwang Hae-gun that could have happened at any time.
It felt like more of a historical fiction movie where the characters might have been the same. Things that were happening in that time period were historically accurate, but the story itself is just a fictional story.
I see it as a mixture of tropes, of historical tropes and sort of modern ideas of the good king and the righteous king and the loyal subjects and these sorts of things that are put together. But I thought it might be talking about Kwang Hae-gun and the northern invasions, and they just make obscure reference to that.
Right.
It was a good movie. I mean,
it was a good movie.
It had you going.
Yeah, no, it did, and I was really entertained by it. I enjoyed Lee Byung-hun's acting.
He's a good actor.
I think it was a challenging role.
Yeah.
Great comedy in this movie.
Yeah, good comic relief.
Yeah, I thought he was surprisingly perfect for it. I see him as more as the serious tough guy.
Yeah.
But he was very funny.
He could pull off the lighter parts of it.
Right.
I liked the music in this.
The music was great.
Music really was a good mood setter.
Yes.
And when we were doing the comedic things, the music was light and funny and brought out that emotion in you. The majesty of when he comes in.
You're right.
Majestic music.
It's amazing how powerful it can be because it really helps indicate what the director wants you to feel.
Yeah.
Besides Lee Byung-hun, what was the little girl's name?
Sawon.
Sawon. I really liked her. She was
and the
great.
Queen was very serious and very
she
good.
was great. Eunuch Joe.
The eunuch. Eunuch Joe. He was the best one.
He was good. He was a good guy from the beginning. Even though it may not be historically accurate in terms of the movie, I did really enjoy seeing that kind of time period of Korea, of Joseon.
And the motifs were about right, with different factions in the court, and you don't know for sure who you can trust, and you have tasters that taste the food.
Yeah, that's one thing we talked about. I couldn't believe that. I mean, it makes sense, I guess, but it seems pretty cynical. Let a commoner try your food to make sure it's not poisoned.
Yeah. And if they die, you don't eat it.
Yeah. And you're like, all right, prepare me a new meal. I think it's very cool to see the costumes.
Excellent costuming, yeah. And the settings, the palace and such. I know some of those palaces, and when they were running through the palace, it's a piece of this palace, then a piece of this palace. They're not connected. They're not really running.
They're making their own kind of new palace. It's clearly a fictional story. It's very grandiose.
Yeah.
But very entertaining, very fun, and I think to have it be set in that time period, for me, I really enjoyed just because I don't know a lot about it.
Yeah, the mystery of the history.
The
old days adds a lot to the story.
Were there any things that stuck out to you in this movie that you're like, okay, that's historically accurate in terms of the setting or the...
Yeah, all of that stuff, the setting and different parties at the court, that sort of thing was accurate with different factions around. I think that was good representation. And they were talking about loyalty to the Ming Dynasty.
Right.
This is right at the time that the Ming Dynasty is falling and the Qing Dynasty. And they talked about loyalty. They talked about he wanted to have good relations with the Qing Dynasty, which turned out to be a good thing because the Qing could have slaughtered Joseon on their way to Ming, but they didn't. They just sought the alliance with Joseon and went on. That's a positive thing for Joseon because they didn't have to die for the sake of the Ming of the Qing Dynasty. It shows Kwang Hae-gun has been, they said, loyal to the savages, to the barbarians, but he was smart to wait for the right alliance with the Joseon Dynasty, with the Qing Dynasty. So that was okay. The movie saved itself as far as I was concerned because at one point I was thinking, this has nothing to do with Kwang Hae-gun, and it's not really a historical movie. But if you get away from that and get into the intrigue and the plot, it was well written. It pulls you in.
All right, and I think they did a good job of that. On your channel, we're gonna upload a video, and we're gonna talk about the real historical,
the real Kwang Hae-gun.
Yes.
And what the movie may have been if it was really about Kwang Hae-gun and his life and times. Tune into my channel, and we'll have another video talking about the historical aspect of Kwang Hae-gun.
Yeah, we'll put a link to it, and we'll try to upload these around the same time. Thanks for joining me on this.
Oh, it's a pleasure. It's always fun to do this.
Yeah, we'll do our next movie review. We talked about Sado.
Let's do Sado.
Yeah.
And there's several others on our list.
We will see you guys next time. Thanks so much for watching.
Thanks. See ya.